My sister called me rude for helping my nephew. I teach high school math, so when my sister Diane asked if I could tutor her son Jamie a few times a week, I figured why not. He's 12 and she said he was really struggling with fractions and word problems. She'd drop him off Tuesday and Thursday evenings after her shift at the hospital ended. First session, I pulled out some 7th grade practice problems to see where he was at. Jamie finished them in maybe 15 minutes. No mistakes. I thought maybe fractions were fine and it was just word problems, so I gave him harder story problems. He got those too. I asked if math was giving him trouble at school and he shrugged. Said his classes were pretty easy actually. I asked why his mom thought he needed help then. He got uncomfortable and said she told him not to talk about school stuff with anyone. That was weird, but I didn't want to make him feel worse, so I just kept giving him problems. Every session was the same. He'd finish everything I gave him way too fast. By the 3rd week, I was running out of 7th grade material. I grabbed one of my algebra worksheets by accident and handed it to him before realizing. He looked at it for maybe 2 minutes, then solved it. Completely correct. I texted Diane that night and said Jamie was actually doing great, way above his grade level even. I told her he probably didn't need tutoring and she should ask his school about bumping him up to advanced classes. She texted back saying thanks, but she'd handle his education. Her tone seemed off, but I let it go. Next session, Jamie mentioned his IEP meeting got moved to next month. I asked what his IEP was for. An IEP is basically a special plan for kids who need extra help with learning. He said he wasn't sure. His mom dealt with all that. That didn't make sense. Jamie was clearly doing fine. Better than fine. I asked him a few careful questions about his classes. He said he spent most of math doing baby stuff like counting blocks and tracing numbers. He was in a special ed classroom. I called Diane right after Jamie left. Asked her straight up why Jamie had an IEP when he obviously didn't need one. She got immediately defensive. Said I didn't understand how expensive everything was as a single mom and the school stuff was complicated. I told her that wasn't an answer. She said she had to go and hung up. I couldn't let it sit. I looked up the school district's public budget reports because I remembered reading something about special education funding once. Turns out every student with an IEP brings in about $8,000 extra per year from the state. The schools get that money to pay for special resources and aids. I called Diane again the next day, told her what I found and asked if she was getting some kind of payment for Jamie being in special ed. She exploded. Started screaming that I was calling her a liar and a thief, that I was being incredibly rude after she trusted me with her son, that I clearly thought I was better than her. I said if she was faking a disability to collect money, that was fraud. She told me to stay out of her life and hung up again. My mom called me 2 days later. Diane had told her I refused to keep tutoring Jamie and accused her of being a terrible parent for no reason. Mom said I needed to apologize and stop causing drama. I explained everything. The math skills, the IEP, the funding, all of it. Mom got really quiet. Then she asked if I was absolutely sure. I said yeah. I'd been teaching for 6 years and Jamie was one of the smartest kids I'd worked with. Mom said she'd take care of it. I figured she meant she'd talk to Diane privately. Instead, Mom called the school district office and filed a formal concern about Jamie's placement. She told them she was his grandmother and she'd observed he was performing way above the level of his current classes. The district has to investigate any family complaint like that by law. They pulled Jamie's records. His test scores were all high. His previous teachers had noted multiple times that he seemed bored and should be reevaluated. But Diane kept insisting he needed to stay in special ed, and the school had just gone along with it because parents usually know best. The school moved Jamie to regular classes immediately. Then they looked at the funding. Turned out Diane had been getting a monthly parent support stipend meant for families dealing with severe disabilities. She'd been collecting it for almost 3 years, over $18,000 total. The district reported it to the county. Diane got charged with benefits fraud and had to pay everything back. She took a plea deal, got a misdemeanor, 6 months probation, and 100 hours of community service.